guys, good morning. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and early 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I cut myself shaving. If you see any blood dripping down. All right. First of all, I've been promising you guys a video. I'm still working on this. I have not forgot it. If you look at my community page, there's actually tickets that say Trump's second inauguration, Kid Rock, and featuring Kid Rock and Ted Nugent. I'm still working on this video. I'm glad I am taking a long time because I just came across some video footage today. This whole video, I want to disprove this nonsense from Tucker Carlson about the FBI, this nonsense about how it was just a tour back on the 6th, how it was a peaceful protest, how nobody was armed back on the 6th. I just came across video footage that shows this one particular scene and one particular protester, a Trump supporter, with a flagpole. This is some of the most brutal. I've seen a lot of brutal stuff in my 55 years on this earth, two decades of going to the South Bronx, to Manhattan, to indulge my when I used to have a drug problem. I've seen a lot of violence, and this video footage is just horrifying. I'm still working on this video. Today is moving day here, though. In the next 24 hours, I officially become homeless. Now, anybody who's been watching my channel, you know I have a decent income, an average income. I have a good checking account, 5 figures, well into 5 figures. The problem is there's no apartments to rent. There's no property to buy that's under $350,000. None. Anywhere in this area, in this town, in the towns around me, nothing. Let me tell you about the 2 apartments that I came across. One of the apartments, by coincidence, was an apartment I used to live in 20 years ago, when I used to use that the dealers used to pull up in front of. All the people that I used with came over there. When I went to look at it, I realized I thought they refurbished it. There was 15 bags of garbage on the front porch. It was a mess, and they wanted $1,100 a month for it. Back when I was there 15 years ago, it was half that. Not even 15 years ago. I got clean there. I left there 6 years ago. I had been there for about 12 years, going back into when I was using. The only other apartment that was available to me was in the attic, above 3 other floors, with no windows, no air conditioning. It was 95 degrees that day. Now, you guys know I work out, I have a bicycle, and I'm an artist. I have over 100 pieces of artwork. I need some room for all this stuff. And there's no natural light whatsoever in an attic. Needless to say, that's like asking somebody to, somebody that works at home to work at home with no internet connection. It's pretty much impossible. All right, so this is the deal. Today, I become homeless. I will have nowhere to go. I can't wait. You guys got to stay tuned, because more than likely, I will be living partly in a camper. I can't wait to show you guys. I'm almost excited about this. As you guys know, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, I no matter what happens in my life, I try to make the best of it. Just to move forward and look at it as just a transition. Like I've told you guys in another video, when I look back, when I heard that I was going to have to leave here and I basically have nowhere to go, I look back at all the change that I've ever been through, all the times that I broke up with a girlfriend or a girl that lived with me, or I lost a job, or I lost an apartment, and it initially sucked, the change, but my life always turned out for the better every single time. So I remembered that this time. That's why I'm still smiling. I will make the best of it. So anyway, yesterday, I paid $750 just to have the excess stuff removed that I couldn't take with me, because I am paying almost $600 a month for a 10 by 15 foot storage facility to put my paintings, my bed, my couch, my chair, my recliner, just basic stuff in per month. Like I said, I paid this mountain of a man to come over. I called up a place to come and pick up, clean out the garbage. I just threw away everything that I couldn't possibly fit in storage. I mean, I threw away nice bureaus. I threw away a working washer and dryer. I really didn't have a choice. I asked the man if it was all at all possible, if he could donate it, if he went by a Salvation Army. I have to be out of here tomorrow. I just do not have the time to drive around and bring these things anywhere. So this is where I'm at today. I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be couch surfing. Let me take you guys around here. So later today, the moving truck's coming. And we're going to have to move all this into a storage facility. I stripped down my bed this morning, and that's going into storage. I'm going to be literally living on a couch. This room's already empty. Got my stuff ready to go in the sink, my shaver and all that. So, if you've been watching, like I said, if you've been watching this channel at all, this is the scary thing. I have an average income. I have a larger than average checking account and savings. Honestly, over $20,000 in the bank. And I can't buy anything. There's nothing to rent. And like I've told you guys before, I've been in recovery for 14 and a half years, and I have to be careful. There's places around here that may be up for rent in the next month or two, but I've lived in this town my whole life, and I'm familiar with the goings-on and the general population of some of these places. I don't want to talk badly, but I know damn well what goes on in a lot of these. Some of these places still have high rent, like $1,000, $1,200 a month, $1,400 a month. Those are the cheapest ones, and they got a very high turnover. Because people don't pay the rent. They mostly don't pay the rent because they're spending their money on other things. They manage to get in for a month or two. Their addictions or whatever take over, and they end up getting kicked out, and it's a very high turnover. That's the only thing available to me. Now, like I said, I've been clean and sober for 14 and a half years. So at this point, I would just as soon couch surf for the next month or two. My family has graciously allowed me to go and sleep on their couch. At 55 years old, I never in my life imagined I'd be in this position. And this all happened in the last month or two. And again, this is I'm not blaming any state or a bunch of people, but this is what's going on. A very large cross-section of New York City, of Manhattanites are moving to Connecticut from the west side of Connecticut over. Danbury, Stamford, Greenwich. They're moving out of the city because they can now work at home. So they're buying homes out here. And the price of homes have skyrocketed. All the condos, all the apartments and the buildings that used to be for rent the owners are no longer renting because they want to make a quick buck. Seriously. And like I said, I'm not blaming anybody, but this is the situation here. If I owned a condo or two, I'd probably do the same thing. A condo that was worth $75,000 2 years ago is now worth about $200,000. I can understand it. But, all these, like people had a couple condos, or they lived in a home and they had a condo from when they were younger. They got married, they bought a home, and they saved the condo. They rent it out to other people. That's no longer happening because now they stopped renting and they're turning around and seeing what they can get just selling it outright to this large group of New Yorkers that are moving into Connecticut. Like I said, I don't say this, I'm not blaming them. This is just I'm not going to sit here and say it's all the conservatives' fault. It's all Donald Trump. It's all Joe Biden. It's this and that. Because that's not the truth. The truth is there was a worldwide pandemic, and you know what? And it doesn't really matter if it came from a lab, if it came from a wet market. The bottom line is it happened, and we have to deal with it right now, right? you can't go back and change anything, no matter where it came from. You can't change what happened. So that's the way I see it. So now people see that they no longer have to. They can live at home. They don't have to commute to work, and this is caused a huge flip in where people live. A huge migration from one area to another, and a lot of people moving into Connecticut. And somebody who lived here my entire life in this town, I no longer have a place to live. And this just happened in the last month. All right, I will be back later, and I'm going to have this video for you about Trump and the second inauguration in mid-August. I got to laugh about that. It's just so hilarious. Ted Nugent and Kid Rock playing Tucker Carlson's nonsense about the FBI, all that nonsense. I got a good video coming up. I'm still working on it. Guys, stay tuned. I'll be back later with another video. Let you know what's going on with as I move into homelessness. I probably will be staying in a camper for a while. I got to show you guys what's going on in my life. All right, guys, have a good Saturday. I'll be back soon.